I'm just your next thought. Push play. I'm just more thoughts to think about. And then time runs out. Hopefully you can remember your thoughts. The Lincoln Financial Field looks like a boat. It actually looks like a ship. From 95 going north, it has the top part sticking out, the side pieces, the solar panels, has the design going up like a ship, and the back part with like those poles sticking out. Click the link below. I've heard rumors about the Lincoln SS, is that what it is? The Abraham Lincoln being sunk. And that's in the Petco 2 video. But that's the Abraham Lincoln acting as if the boat itself is going to be sunk, which it might still be with the 21-day script. There's a holdup that happens, but there's this 21-day script. Jonathan Click is the acting Syrian, because he's coming against Israel, like the house of Israel, the spiritual house of Israel. Al-Bashad Radamad, the guy over in Syria, he is playing the mainstream Antichrist, because he's coming against Israel, literally the land, as they play it out in the, so as it is in the mainstream media, so shall it be in the social media. Flex coming against the Israelites, and Al-Shad, he's coming against Israel, the land. So you have to see that. Flex ready to ring a bell. Just know that on the $100 bill, there's the strip in the middle that has the bell on it. The 100% no lion, the bell, the hologram. So not only is it a bell, but it's a hologram bell. And the bell that's going to be rung, it's going to be rung by a hologram. There's going to be a holographic missile that flies into that eye, that one eye Willie. But who knows when he rings the bell? Because he's going to come in and he's going to say, "Guys, I'm getting ready to ring the bell." He didn't say when. Man, here's my house. One of them anyway. I love the porch all the way around. I think I'm gonna have a double-story decker porch wrapped around my entire second floor. $100% no lying. The $100 bill. He's gonna ring the bell. The project's done. He said it. I mean, who knows? It could be New York wiped out. It could be the Hoover Dam can go all at once. But he's really talking about New Jerusalem, not New York. He's really talking about 17th JFK. I mean, I thought about setting up the projectiles where Kleck would be at. He might just be up on top of the roof at 17th and JFK just to watch, to get front row seats at the highest point. I think that's where he's going to be at, because he doesn't need to get up there, set up a hologram system. Isn't that in the 5G towers and other buildings around that just it's up there? How do you think they did the first 9/11? So he doesn't really have to shoot a projectile. He can watch his burning hot projectile missile hit the eye of the William Penn building. I'll say Jan5th Vargo Kleck. He's going to hop back up on Sunday right before the Eagles game, because what he's going to do is he's going to pretend that he's at his house. He already made the video. It's already set. He's going to upload the video right before the Eagles game starts, just like he did on October 20th. The timestamp is there. Right before the Eagles played the Cowboys in Dallas, he hopped in, all excited about what but yet he was already at Home Depot. What was that, 75 Home Depot in Dallas, Texas? He was already there setting up the tornado at Home Depot 75. What time? I'll say 4 o'clock. I'll say at 4 o'clock, Jan5th Kleck's going to get up Sunday, January 5th, 2020. Jan5th Kleck's going to get up and say he's getting ready to ring the bell. And then that way the news comes on, the second 9/11 happened, you're going to know that Kleck was responsible for it. People are going to think he's God, the ones that are dumb enough to believe him. Because the idea is to say you're getting ready to ring this bell, and when you throw in there, who knows, maybe New York will get wiped out with a tidal wave, or the Hoover Dam will just explode all at the same time. That is a major thing to say as you're going to ring a bell, because what you're connecting with ringing the bell is a major world-changing, dominating news event that is geared to change the entire world from here on out. That is the event that you're going to see that Kleck is responsible for, the face of the event, the Unabomber himself, setting up the bombs for the first 9/11 and the second 9/11. Only after he does it is when people will believe that, yes, it's true. That is literally the Unabomber, Jan5th Vargo Kleck. The stage name. I still think his name's Frank X. Shalerio or something. Shalerio. 100-hour bill, the football, smoke. When he rings the bell, who knows? It could be that football thing. The 100-hour bill thing that he was talking about. That 7-story building being destroyed with the tidal wave in New York. No, New Jerusalem 7-story building, the William Penn building. Yeah, maybe that. Or who knows? It's the Lincoln Financial Field. If it's not even the Lincoln Financial Field, and it just goes to Philadelphia getting hit, and then it carries on to the Super Bowl, that's the final possibility. But no, because what he's going to do, he's going to ring the damn bell. That's the next video. As soon as Kleck gets up, he's either going to, well, yeah, he has to get up right beforehand, because again, he's going to pretend that he's not there. He's going to pretend he's not in Philadelphia right now. He's going to pretend that he's at his house, and he's just right there in front of the computer, giving you letting you know he's getting ready to ring a bell. I mean, how obvious is that going to be? Do you think he cares that we know, that we're going to know when this does happen? I don't think he does care. I think he prefers for that to be the case, and all you Kleckites that are watching my channel too. I think he wants you and me and everybody to know that he is God. No matter what he does or says, you got to fall in line, because he's the Antichrist. But he also doesn't understand how God truly does work in the hearts of the people that he's already worked into the hearts with. These people that their heart's already changed towards... When your heart changes, it means you changed your mind. Only your heart can change your mind. Your mind is powerful, man. I mean, did you ever stop and just try not to think of anything, and then you'll hear like repetitive thoughts in your head that they won't stop unless you are consciously aware of stopping it and just breathing in and breathing out? You can literally stop your thoughts like that. When you do that, did you ever notice that if you blink too much, you'll repeat whatever it is that was in your head? You'll repeat what's in your head if you're quiet. That's like that natural thing of those little demons. I mean, look, they just want to repeat themselves. They want to sing. They want to dance. They just want to flip out and go crazy. I mean, that's what they want to do inside of your brain and your vessel. You can allow them to do that, and then, you know, they're also they got those little fat kid demons that they get me sometimes too. You just like munching on stuff. If you don't listen to them and you just try to keep a still mind, the goal is to keep your mind from wandering as much. I still drift off when people are talking, some certain people. I drift off. That's why I like to pay attention to things that are interesting. That's why I like to hear what we're talking about. I like hearing this kind of stuff. When the second 9/11 does happen, I'm going to like to hear everybody's side of the story, including my boss, who will in all likelihood be at the game, and who'll hear the explosions. He'll believe it's real. He'll see smoke. He'll see people laying on the ground after it happens. Once I'm done being questioned by the local authorities, or once my bail's set, if that's the case, then I'll have to let my boss know that it wasn't, well, nobody really died, you know, unless you actually seen a real human being that got blown up right in front of your face, then I'll believe you. But if you heard a bomb, and if you seen blood and you seen limbs over there, I'm not talking about that. Even if they're like flapping limbs, in all likelihood you'll probably see that too, because that'll really get you to believe it. So I'll have to tell them that it wasn't real. But man, the link, click the link below. They're playing a playoff game that was, nobody could have ever thought. You can't even think this stuff up. It's hard to think these things up, because you know, they just don't happen in a lifetime, in anybody's lifetime. You can't possibly write up some type of a script and follow through with it and read it. Not at all. 5:55 remaining in the fourth quarter. I just feel like it's going to be a blowout. Because if it's a blowout, I don't know how many people are going to stick around in the fourth quarter with 5:55 remaining. Some people want to party, but for the most part, don't you think people are gonna head up out of there? The Seahawks are getting blown out by the Eagles. It's the fourth quarter. Once you start getting down halfway, 6 minutes, halfway into the quarter, the end of the last quarter, the end of the game, I think people will lose interest in watching the game because they're thinking about beating traffic. The game became, they get to go home and party or whatever. They're going to get out of there. And it also makes it a little bit easier if there is just regular people there and it's not all of Hollywood, pretty much. And crisis actors and Cleckites. And I mean, I wonder how many Cleckites are going to be there. Then you got the $50 bill, which is what... See, when Cleck is saying this, the $50 bill, I mean, the Hoover Dam can break, and who knows, maybe when he rings the bell, you know, who knows what can happen when he rings the bell. And maybe that $100 bill thing he was talking about. What he's talking about, pretending he's talking about, is New York with a tidal wave with a 7-story building getting destroyed. What he's really talking about is the 7-story building, William Penn, which is 7 stories. And the football thing, because as he's referring to the Hoover Dam, 17th JFK, and he's referring to the $100 bill, acting like it's New York, but it's not. It's New Jerusalem he's talking about. New. That's why he's putting the word new in there. And the $100 bill also referring to the other one when you fold it and it shows you a football up in smoke. That would be where you click the link below. You click the link below. The Abraham Lincoln is going to get sunk. You sunk my battleship. Might even happen. I mean, the actual Abraham Lincoln might happen. The Lincoln Financial Field is what you're not supposed to know. It's whatever you're not supposed to know. I just want to make sure I want to let you know. So you're not supposed to know that on the back of a $10 bill is the William Penn building, that church tower, and you're not supposed to know that it's shaped like a pecker, and you're not supposed to know that the pet goat too, that pecker has a heart on the side, which is really a herpy, but it has the heart. It's the showing you love park is on that diagonal corner from the William Penn building, which is the target that's on the back of the $10 bill. And on the back of a $5 bill, in the back of the William Penn, in the center of the William Penn building on the ground, there's those legs that looks the same as the $5 bill folded up. And then a $20 bill, well, I'm referring that over to the White House because I don't see any resemblance. It doesn't match anything with Philly. The $10 bill matches William Penn. William's pen is in the hand of the Statue of Liberty. Our liberty is getting going to be taken away for a time period. Our Independence Day is the day that Kleck's going to ring the bell. When he rings the bell at the Eagles game, the next day, because you're going to see a lot of limbs everywhere. There's trees, you got to clear out a lot of trees. So you can see a lot of limbs. And the following day, which is Monday, because that's when Batcat died, you can see a lot of limbs, and then it takes 2 days to clear the path, to make it that cement truck back there, to try to pave the way straight across Broad Street, to go from north to south, to connect it, instead of going around. All those connections, 2-3 bypass is also it's also Route 23 right by the White House. But it's also the 2-3 bypass is 2 being the second 9/11, 3 being the Third World War. The second 9/11 creates the Third World War. The 2-3 bypass. The guy that was shot at the Texas, the guy that is acting like, you know, Jan5th Kleck, he was acting like this guy that got shot, and he was 43 years old, and I'm 43 years old. The shooter is anybody that has the ability to shoot and run off their mouth. They're going to make sure that the shooter is dead. The shooter's going to be dead in the streets for 3.5 days. And then after 3.5 days, there's going to be a breath of life that enters back into God's people. Those who are already in place, the ones that are already in place are already surveilling. You guys already know what the deal is. Not all of you. There's probably like 12, maybe 12 of you that know, because of the 12 elders. Oh no, 24 elders, or is it 10? There's a handful of people that truly do know that this second 9/11 is going to happen. And the ones that already know that, like Stephen James DeShawn, has already made up his mind as to what he's going to do. And on top of that, he's promised to reign anyway. And he's going to. With that, you know, the underground area that you're in control of. Kleck does get the tap by the person that's going to be in charge and then put in new governors. I'm not trying to rule the world. I'm just trying to govern the world with God's law. That's it. That's what I'm going to do. It will happen, and you'll see it. But in the meantime, Kleck has to do everything that he needs to just push all the fear he can to get you to believe that he's God, because he's literally going to tell you, which he already did, he's literally going to show you. And once he rings this bell, there's going to be absolute destruction and chaos and hell. Hell, I don't know. What's going to happen when I ring a bell? Hell, I don't know. What's going to happen when I ring a bell? Hell. For those, oh man, hell for those who don't know. Hell for those who are still on his side. Hell, yeah, you're going to see hell. Heaven for others. It's, look, your mindset is where you're at. It ain't where you're from. It's where are you at right now, mentally. Where are you? It's a trap. I am telling you, Kleckites, it's a trap. Don't get sucked into it. Turn and repent now. Just repent now. Just admit that you were wrong. Or even if you don't think you're wrong, just apologize and say you're sorry to your Heavenly Father, and you'll stop helping him. But I have a strong suspicion that you guys are going to go all the way to the end, and you don't know. There's certain Kleckites that don't know that the second 9/11 is even going to come from your boss. That's why there's only a handful that truly knows the script inside and out. But all the Kleckites don't know. And then there's even some Kleckites that don't watch this channel, and they're just, man, they're so deceived. They think he's the Messiah. They're gonna think he's God when that bell rings, and they didn't watch my video to let them know that it's not. He knows what's gonna happen because he's the one creating the problem. I can tell you I know what's gonna happen because I'm just looking from the outside in, studying, watching YouTube videos, paying attention to some of the mainstream with Trump and what's going on. I gotta keep myself updated on some of that stuff. What about Philadelphia being destroyed in 1 hour, though? Would he possibly do all that damage in one day, on Sunday? I don't think so, because the Eagles game has to happen first. If the second 9/11 happens in Center City, William Penn, like on Sunday, I could see if it happened on Thursday or something, but if it happened on Sunday, I don't see them playing the football game because it's like a terrorist attack just happened in your city. They would cancel it. That's why I think it has to be football. It has to be Sunday to start it with, and then it has to be a football game. It's only two options from this point on. It's only either the Lincoln Financial Field on January 5th, 2020, or the Super Bowl on 2/2/2020. And either way, it has to be at the end of the game with 5:55 remaining in the fourth quarter. I thought it would be possibly at 5:55. That's a little bit too obvious. I think it's less obvious if they use it as 5:55 remaining in the fourth quarter. Is Kleck trying to give himself away, or is he trying to be sneaky? Because I feel like he's literally trying to just give himself away. But then I'm smart enough to understand that he wants to be as sneaky as possible, but giving himself away. But you can't prove it, even though I can prove it. All of this circumstantial evidence, if I just had 12 of you guys as my juror, I would win. Well, no, wait. Do you need 7? I forget how that works. Some of you that are the jurors right now didn't believe that Kleck had that pull and he was responsible for anything until I started showing you the videos of him and what he says and what he does and how obvious he is. Then you tend to believe, like, wow, man, he does have some pull. He was the shooter in the Texas shooting at the church. That was Kleck in black, dressed in black, with a fake wig and a fake beard. And on top of that, guess what? Kleck was interviewing Jack. I heard his voice. He was the interviewing Jack. You know, Jack Lamb, Jack Wilson playing Wilson. It's Jack Lamb, the Lamb of God. But it's also Wilson because Russell Wilson is playing the Eagles at the Lincoln Financial Field. Clicking the link below, Wentz, Carson is there as Tony Yates. It was saying Wentz. They get down. You know, there are comments referring to Carson Wentz. It's too obvious right now. Way too obvious. Noah's Ark is the Lincoln Financial Field. Pray your flight's not on the Sabbath or in the winter. Now, I don't... Some people look at the Sabbath as Saturday 6 p.m. to Sunday 6 p.m. But you also got to play out Sunday for the mass amount of people to believe in the Sabbath. That's why there's those different dispositions that they play. It's a 2-day process. It's at 8:48. Now, would the Eagles game go into 8:48? Because I need to think of this one too. What does it apply for? What? Upper Durham police are hiring. I wonder if I can get a job. I'm a convicted felon though, but I'm honest and I'll tell you the truth. I won't go around with a gun, but I'll do detective work and I'll figure out who did what and I'll convict them. 8:48. Because you know how the Eagles game, at clicking the link below, it's like, well, this bomb wouldn't even have happened if they didn't have a playoff game. And then at 8:48, the only way that would happen, because the game's at 4:40, 7:40 would be 3 hours. It would be like as if it was in overtime. And at 8:48, and then all of a sudden, but that's a stretch. That's a real stretch. Because I'm looking at 8:48 as being Willie Penn. It doesn't make that. Like, even if the 17th and JFK got blown up by the bomb, it still isn't like, it's not really a second 9/11 type of category. William Penn building, the building where it all started here in Philadelphia, yeah, that's a major 8:48 be still. And then at 9:03 heading over to 17th and JFK for the robbery, because it'll be, yeah, that's what it is. William Penn's going to get hit at 8:48 a.m. on Monday morning, I believe the 6th of January. If not the Super Bowl, the 2nd, which would be the 3rd, that would be another 2-3 bypass. The 2nd, the Super Bowl, the 3rd, Monday, February 2020, 8:48 a.m., William Penn, then 17th JFK, 9:03, and then go back to Willie again at 9:33, or the White House at 9:33 a.m. on that Monday. So it is a Monday. It depends whether it's the 6th